Hey guys, Andre the Farmer here, and this is our June garden tour. I do a tour of the garden every 3 months to sort of give you guys an idea of what kind of progress is happening in the garden. Right now we've got mangoes fruiting, we've got lychees fruiting, we've got a lot of action. We've got some bananas that are coming out. We got a lot going on, so it's June 5th, 2022, and let's start the tour. All right, here we go. So we're at the top of the garden here. It's kind of an overview of where we're going. We're gonna start with these trees that were planted originally, and we're gonna work our way down to all the stuff down at the back of the food forest, all right? So these are some of the earlier trees here, and this is a coconut cream mango, and we've got a few mangoes on it. Now, coconut creams are really tasty mango. It's got a little bit of spice to it. It's one of my favorite mangoes. So hopefully this tree will hold on to what's left on here. I think we got 6 left on here. There's my mulch pile. I talked about how you can get that from chipdrop.com. That's how you get your free mulch. This is a Glen mango, and it's a young tree, but it's producing a few mangoes this year, so I'm excited about that. This is my Hall avocado, which last year we had to do a big prune on. It was a young tree, and it was just a stick. So what we did is we actually cut that, we decapitated it, and it's actually grown out. It's been a lot bushier now. We're growing some peas around it to help add some nitrogen to the soil, because peas are nitrogen fixers. The peas are really going crazy on this one. I've done peas around a lot of my fruit trees, and they're just doing a lot better around that tree for some reason than the others. So hopefully that tree's getting a lot of extra nitrogen. This is my Valencia Pride mango here. And this is a really fast growing big mango. The tree actually grows a lot too. So I'm actually gonna do some air layers on this. I have air layers here, here, and over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this tree after it fruits. We're gonna cut this tree back to about 6 feet tall. And we're gonna create some new trees here as well, because I really wanna keep this tree under control in terms of size. And trees generally can only get as big as you let them get. This is my Sugarloaf mango, which I'm very excited about because Sugarloaf mangoes are a really delicious mango. Last year I only got 2 off of this tree. This year it's got 3. Last year of the 2 I got 1 and the squirrels got the other one. And here we have our avocado. This is our big producing avocado tree here. This is a day avocado, and it produces a really delicious avocado. Anytime I see a branch like this that's dead, I want to take that off the tree and kind of remove it far away from the tree. And we're gonna walk around here. Got some bamboo growing here. This is clumping bamboo that I moved from the other side of the yard over to here. So I propagated this bamboo over to here, and it's doing really well in this particular spot. And then we have some Kent mangoes. This was the first mango tree I ever planted. And the Kent mangoes are another very good mango. And I've grafted onto this a couple years ago. I grafted some Maha Chinook. So if you look at the shape of this mango versus the other mangoes, you can see that it's very differently shaped. And that's because this is a Maha Chinook mango growing on a Kent mango tree. This is my my Malacca mango. And last year, this tree actually produced 4 different types of mangoes on it because it had a lot of grafts. This year, the grafts did not produce, but the main tree is producing mangoes. So we are gonna get some mangoes. I think this year is a little bit of an off year for mangoes because we had a cold, and then we had the hot, and then we had the cold, and a lot of the buds died this year. So we'll get mangoes, but not as much as usual. Over here, we've got a couple of dragon fruits here on some trellises that I built. This one's a little slanted here, but I think it's okay. We got another dragon fruit down there. What do we got running up there? It's in shadows over my head, probably just birds. We got some bamboo that I'm trying to propagate here, and it looks like it's growing, but it hasn't put out any new shoots yet. We've got a couple blueberries there. We've got some butterfly pea, which we're growing here for the first time. And this here is a lychee, which is an air layer for my bigger tree, which I'm going to show you there in a second. We got some strawberries in our strawberry tower here. Looks like we're producing some strawberries. And we've got a variegated pink lemon, which has 4 lemons on it. So we'll see how that does. Got a little pineapple. Keep it in a cage. Keep the critters off of it. We've got a Namdok Mai mango back there and a couple of figs. Figs look like they're getting a little dry. We haven't had rain here in a while. We had a tropical storm come through here and it missed my house for some reason. Here we've got some peas and we've got some beets in this bed here. We're kind of giving this bed a bit of a rest. It's my ginger bed. So it's mostly ginger in here with a little bit of turmeric growing as well. And turmeric is a beautiful looking plant. I always say this is a front yard plant. It's something you can grow in your front yard because it really looks nice. It looks like an ornamental. But we got mostly ginger in here. Then we've got our pepper bed here. These are black cobra peppers. We've got some Peruvian purple chili peppers. We've got some bird peppers here, also called Thai chili peppers. And we have some ghost peppers. These are crazy hot peppers right here. I have a friend who's coming to pick these up today. We've got a little lemongrass growing in between here. So some parsley and some oregano and some basil. Got some rosemary and lemon balm in here. This is a miracle berry, which we harvested a bunch of miracle berries from it already. So right now it doesn't have any fruit on it, but it does produce. If you don't know about miracle berries, you eat a miracle berry, then everything you eat after that's gonna taste super sweet. It's really cool. There's some sage in here and some thyme and some basil that we trimmed back. It's coming back to life now. And this is my Kent, it was sold to me as a Kent mango tree, but I've discovered that this is a Tommy Atkins mango, which is a beautiful looking mango. It's got a little bit of fiber in it, so it's not a super desirable mango, but I've grafted a bunch of other varieties onto this. So we'll see how that works out. We're gonna air layer that branch there to get it out of the way so it's not providing shade on the rest of these plants here. These are my carrots that I have to harvest today, so we're gonna harvest these carrots later on today. Maybe I'll make a video on that. We grew some garlic in here during the year. There's some green onions there, and we're also growing asparagus for the first time. So that's the beginning stages of asparagus here, the real wispy looking plants there. There's a couple weeds in there that we need to weed out as well. We've got some dasheen or malanga growing in here. It's a really great front yard plant as well. It looks a lot like elephant ears, but it is edible, the leaves as well as the plant. This is my Namwa banana, and it goes way up. And this has produced probably about 3 or 4 racks for me already in the past. There's the stump of the last one that we chopped down after it produced. We've got some dwarf Namwa bananas here beside it. And this has produced a couple times as well. Got a little fig there that we're air layering. We've got a red jabuticaba here that does flower occasionally. This is my lychee tree here. It's got a lot of lychee on it. We harvested a bunch of lychee from this already, but this is the one that we've air layered a couple times. We've air layered 2 trees off of this already, and I've got a couple air layers going in there. I see a couple of lychee that have been eaten by the birds, so we're gonna harvest the rest of these lychee today. I don't wanna leave the rest for the birds, but they ate 4 of them up there. Oh, okay, we gotta harvest this today. This is my Kerry mango tree, which produces a very consistent amount of mangoes, and they're a very good small sort of mango. It's related to a Julie mango, which is a very famous Caribbean mango. It's actually the granddaughter of a Julie, which means that this is the seedling of a Julie mango. Then we've got a bed here with some peas, a little sunflower action going there. This was a bed that didn't work out so well, so I planted some peas in here just to sort of rejuvenate the soil, and they're doing really well. We've got some eggplant in here. These are Japanese eggplants. Then we have some traditional eggplants over there. We've harvested a few eggplants off these already, so they're doing very well. Got a little squash in there. We also have marigolds in a lot of these beds because marigolds are a great deterrent for a lot of pests in the garden, and they attract a lot of predator plants as well. We've got a little watermelon growing in there, which is finally starting to take off a little bit. So we'll see how that does. Oh, this is my breadfruit tree. Doesn't really grow in Florida. It's too cold for it here, but I'm growing it inside. Mostly in the summer I put it outside, and in the winter I'm gonna bring it back inside. Go back over here because we got some loofahs growing over here. We got some peppers growing down here. We've got some jalapeno peppers. We've got some green peppers. We have banana peppers. I harvested a bunch of banana peppers off these already. And then we've got our loofahs. We've got a couple loofahs here, and we got a really big giant loofah right here. And it's my first year growing loofah, so I'm very excited about that. I've been hand pollinating a bunch of them. So these are the female flowers. This is like a male flower here, obviously, or female flower here, and these are the male flowers here. So I've been hand pollinating them whenever I can. I missed this one, missed that one there, so that way that one's not gonna turn into a fruit. But I didn't pollinate this one, but it looks like it might have been pollinated by the bees enough. But this is one that I did hand pollinate, and you can see how well that one looks. So we're gonna take a walk. Let's go deeper into the food forest. Now, up this tree here is all passion fruit. So all that vine that you're seeing up there is all passion fruit. So the way we harvest passion fruit is they just sort of fall to the ground and then we pick them up. This is a little sugar apple. Now I had a big, if you look at my earlier videos, I had a big Barbados cherry here and we moved that down there. So I'm gonna show you that later, but I moved it down here because it was taking up a lot of premium space. So we moved it down here and it allowed me to plant 3 trees. So I planted a sugar apple, another sugar apple, and fruit punch mango that we moved from down the hill to here. And you can see this fruit punch mango is already doing better than it did down there. It's already putting out new growth. I think it's gonna grow a lot better here. The trees up here tend to do a lot better than the trees that are down at the bottom there. The soil's better up here. They get more water. I think they get a little nutrients from the lawn as well, the fertilizer in the lawn. And they get more sun, because once the sun clears these trees, then they start to get sun for like the longer part of the day. The stuff down there gets sun in the morning, but then it doesn't get sun after the morning. This is a jamoon or a black plum. We're gonna come back up here. Let's go down the hill a little bit. These are Turk's cap hibiscus, and they are an edible flower, and you can actually get a little bit of nectar. It's sweet, right at the tip. You can eat the whole flower, but I just suck the nectar out and then toss it. This is my pump. This is where we get water from the lake. The water comes out of the lake and it sort of irrigates everything. This is lemongrass, which needs to be cut back. It is definitely overgrowing right now. Over here's my little workbench. We have, we're growing some Peruvian ground cherries that we got some fruit from, and we're growing the seeds. We've got some mulberry cuttings. We've got some dragon fruit cuttings. We're gonna move on from here. This is part of the vine of the passion fruit. If you see the trunk of this thing, the trunk of it is massive. It's really thick, it's really woody, especially for a passion fruit. We got some pineapples growing here, some wild raspberries there. Got a pineapple in a cage over here. That's to keep the critters off them. Now all on the ground here is all sweet potato ground cover. Oh, we also have some tomatoes that are still left over. The heat's sort of working on them, but there's one that's ready to be harvested right there. And we've got some celery that we need to pull up as well. So we're gonna pull up that celery. We're gonna empty out this bed pretty much and give it a reset for the fall. We're going some comfrey here, which is a great nitrogen source. I'm trying to get it nice and big so we can start using it for fertilizer, really. It's a great nitrogen fixer. Pull some of these weeds. This is my papaya right here. And this broke off in a storm right here, but it's grown back. It's branched out a lot more. We got sweet potato on the ground here, more pineapple. This is Cuban oregano, and this just grows like a total weed. Once you put this on the ground, it just grows automatically. All you need to do is drop a leaf on the ground and it will produce more Cuban oregano. Got more lemongrass here. We got a passion fruit here. That's how we find our passion fruit. They just fall to the ground. The squirrels gnawed on this one, but they didn't get through, so that's good passion fruit we can still utilize. Oh, we got another one here. So we're gonna put those in our pocket. Let's see what else we got going on. We're gonna go this way. This is my strawberry tree, AKA Jamaican cherry. And it's called a strawberry tree because the blossoms look like strawberry blossoms. You guys can see that. And this is a ripe one right here. And it tastes like cotton candy. Now I spit the skins out, but I harvested about 40 berries from this tree yesterday, and it's already reloaded again. This is one of the few mangoes that I'm growing from seed. I typically don't grow mangoes from seed other than to just graft onto them. Oh, look at that green animal on there. Is it a lizard? Pretty cool. This is a tamarind tree here. Back up a little bit. It's a tamarind tree. It's still young. It hasn't produced or flowered yet, but it's grown a lot since I got it. It was pretty much a stick when I got it a couple years ago. And this is my mulberry tree here. Got a dragon fruit which is growing on it. This dragon fruit has actually fruited before, but this was the first dragon fruit I planted, and I didn't understand that they needed a trellis. I didn't know they needed a trellis. So I tried to build trellises over time and they all just fell apart. So now I'm basically having this tree be my trellis for this dragon fruit. And it flowered recently, but the flower just fell off because there was not a second flower to pollinate it with. So you have to hand pollinate these guys. So I needed to flower multiple times. Now this is Pakistani mulberry that is grafted onto this ever-bearing mulberry right there. And you can see the difference in the size of leaves, like these leaves versus those leaves. And also the fruit are correspondingly like much larger. So here we've got a coconut tree that's been in the ground for about 3 or 4 years now. It's doing okay. It's a slow growing tree. This is another papaya here. And we've got some turmeric that's popping up here in the ground. It's about that time of year. Oh, here's my sapodilla, which I'm excited about. It hasn't produced fruit yet, but it is flowering for the first time. My sapodilla. I might get some fruit from this guy. We got a banana here with a rack of bananas on it. That's a dwarf Cavendish banana. And here we have some some perennial peanut here. And then we've got a sugarloaf pineapple that someone gave to me, and it's starting to grow. Pull that weed out. Let's see, hope we didn't miss anything. We have more pineapple. We got a jackfruit seedling. We've got a little turmeric popping up here. That's some galangal, which is related to ginger and turmeric. And then we have, this is a seedling of a loquat. And loquats, if you grow them from seed, you're gonna get a new variety. So this is gonna be a new variety of loquat here. Over here, we have a little bit of perennial sorghum, which is like a grain. And we've got some walking onion that we just kind of stuck here because we didn't have another place to put it. I'm gonna go through here, I'll show you this quickly. We've got a guarana. Oh, the little bunny rabbit just ran off. We've got, the bunnies aren't a problem here. They're actually really good. They only eat pretty much weeds here. This is a little jackfruit seedling that I planted. I actually grew this in my office over the winter and put it in the ground this spring. We've got a loquat there. And we've got a guarana, which is like a viney plant. It really doesn't like the cold, so we'll see how it does here. But I have it in the ground still, giving it a shot. Here's my bees down here. We've got our beehives down here. We've got some yellow bamboo, which is starting to sprout out some new bamboo. We even got some ginger that's starting to sprout out over here. I don't even remember planting ginger over here. But we got some jabuticabas here. These weeds, some young jabuticabas. Got some shampoo ginger. And we've got a moringa. Got a raspberry over here. Let's see, some more shampoo ginger. Waiting for this ginger to flower. This is some elderberry that's sprouting up from that elderberry over there. Elderberry is very invasive. It really sprouts all over the place. This is a jackfruit seedling. It's another pineapple in a cage. I had to open the cage up because the pineapple outgrew the cage. So I might have to think of another idea next year. This is my elderberry here. It's producing a lot of flowers and some fruit this year for the first time, but it really spreads. Like that elderberry is coming from that there. So you gotta be careful. You gotta put it in a place where you can contain it. I'll let it spread all around here. I don't really care. This is some black pepper, which refuses to die, but it kind of also refuses to really grow. But it's putting out a little bit of new growth, so we'll see how it does. Over here, we've got some dwarf Puerto Rican plantains. Now I throw basically all my compost and scraps directly into my bananas. I don't compost, I throw everything right to the bananas. So you can see I get seedlings that pop up. And that's an avocado seedling. I think there's a lychee seedling in there. And I usually just end up digging these up and putting them in pots eventually. But my dwarf Puerto Rican plantains, they are actually fruiting as well for the second time, this bunch. So we got a rack of Dwarf Puerto Rican plantains right there. Let's see. Oh, we got some ornamental ginger growing here. A little grapefruit that I put a seed in the ground. It's actually growing. Got another, this is a blackberry here that I planted. Over here we've got some Scotch bonnet peppers. We harvested a bunch off of this already, but it's got a couple more left. And then we got some bird peppers growing over here. This is my struggling longan, which just, it's always just been a really struggling weak plant. I might put it in a pot, see if it does better. We've got a little buttercream mango that's only got one mango left. Last year it produced one mango. This year it's going to produce one mango again, maybe. We got some Mexican sunflower over here. We got triple sec mango. Like I said, the trees down here do not get as much sun, so they don't do as well down here. So, but this one's starting to put out some new growth. I think next year might be it's here. This is a everbearing mulberry that I grafted some wild mulberry onto. So we'll see how that does. Take that little bud off because that's the original root stock there. And then we've got, this is a pomegranate, which we actually took from a friend of mine's garden last year and moved it over here. We got a little banana here. We've got some persimmon. And we got a couple fruit on this persimmon. This is a Fuyu persimmon. I think it's got 3 fruit on it right now. Got another mulberry that's grafted with Pakistani mulberry on top. And we got another pomegranate over here. Oh, we got some dog barf slime mold here. Doesn't really harm anything, but we're gonna pull that out of there just because it doesn't look pretty. Dog barf slime mold. Ah, there we go. Dog vomit slime mold, I think it's called. Got a bunch of it growing in here. There's another variety of it here. Throw that out of there. And in here we got some corn and we got some watermelon kind of growing around the sides here. Now down here is where I have most of my sugar cane. I've got 3 varieties of sugar cane. We got this regular, the green sugar cane. We've got some striped Hawaiian sugar cane that I'm trying to grow down here, and it's doing pretty well. I'm protecting it from the bunnies and the squirrels because they like to gnaw on it. We've got some Ruby Supreme guavas. It's producing a couple fruit here. More sugar cane. This is another guava that we actually took from a friend of mine's backyard last summer. And it's doing well, but it hasn't flowered yet. So we'll see if it flowers eventually. More Mexican sunflower, and I use this for chop and drop. This is great. It's a great source of nitrogen and phosphorus for your plants. So it's about ready to chop and drop. So I might do some of that today too. Got my bat house up there waiting for bats to move in. But it's a great source of chop and drop. So we're gonna use that. It's also a great source of flowers for native bees, like the honeybees don't really care for it, but the native bees love these flowers. So it's a great alternative source for your native bees, which are really the bees that we need to protect. We got bananas here. Down by the lake, I keep everything that needs water down here because bananas and sugarcane, they love the water. So instead of sort of having to pipe a lot of water up, I started planting a lot of bananas down here once I learned, more about bananas. And they do really well down here. Here's a banana pup that we just put down here. We basically cut all the leaves off and it's putting out new shoots now. Got some more sugar cane down here. Elderberry also loves the water, so we have elderberry down here as well. And once again, I throw all the scraps and stuff around the bananas, and that's gonna break down and provide fertilizer. Got a little grapefruit tree here. Got some buds on it, it's about to flower. Little jackfruit seedling. We got a Bombay mango here, which has not produced any fruit yet. They're kind of a scraggly looking mango tree, but it'll come around. This is my Alfonso mango, which is producing mangoes this year for the first time consistently. So we have a decent amount of mangoes on this guy right now. Got another pineapple in a cage down here. This is my coconut tree, my dwarf Puerto Rican coconut tree. and it's putting out some new growth. The hard part is getting this thing through each winter because they're very cold sensitive, and we're kind of out of their growing zone. But yeah, I like to push the limits, and it's doing pretty well. So hopefully in a couple years we'll have coconuts. We got a little plum tree here, which started off as a little stick in a box, and it's doing really well. Got more bananas down here, a little bit of dragon fruit. We're gonna actually go up this way a little bit here. And you know what, we're gonna swing it around. We'll go this way. More sugarcane. We got a Pickering mango with a couple mangoes on it, hanging on, so hopefully they survive. We got some black sugarcane down here. I think that this is the black sugarcane down here, or the dark sugarcane. I don't know the real name for it, but you see it's really dark stem, but it's nice and thick sugarcane. It's very sweet. And all the sugarcane I got was from supermarkets. I just basically rooted it and stuck in the ground, and then every time I harvest a piece, I'll stick a new piece in the ground, and that's how I got all this sugarcane. And down here we've got some sorrel growing, also called not sorrel. What do you guys call this? There's an American name for it. We call it sorrel in the Caribbean, but that's sorrel growing right there. Boy, I can't remember the name you guys call it. It's on the tip of my tongue. All right, well, this is cassava or yucca that's growing behind it here. So I made a cassava and yucca bed with the sorrel added to it. We got a little bit of grapes growing right here. So I made this grapevine out of recycled or repurposed material. So basically it's like roots and vines that I found in the ground, and then bamboo that I harvested from my yard. And we got some grapes growing. So we'll see how they do. Got a few here and there. Down here we've got another Barbados cherry, and we've got a little grafted mango tree down here. We've got a jackfruit seedling. It's very interesting jackfruit seedling because the leaves are all shaped like this instead of them being mostly round. So I've never seen a jackfruit with this many leaves shaped that way. So maybe it'll be an interesting new variety. We've got a loquat here. And then up here, we've got another rack of bananas. This is a dwarf namois, the little mini rack. We got my star fruit or carambola tree, which usually about this time is about getting ready to put out some flowers. So it hasn't put any flowers out yet, but it should do it soon. Got another banana, it's another dwarf namois. Got some passion fruit growing up there. It's kind of young, but it's a yellow passion fruit. And then we've got a namois banana here. We've got a crazy dwarf namois that put out a really weird looking rack here, which is not going to amount to anything, so we're going to probably chop this down soon. We've got chocolate pudding fruit here, which actually has some flowers on it right now. So this is a black sapote, also called a chocolate pudding fruit, so I'm excited about that. It's my namois banana, I think I said that. Got some more ornamental ginger. We've got some dragon fruit. We've got another persimmon here. And we've got more dragon fruit here, and this one actually has a little flower on it right now. The flower is about to bud open soon. We've got a lychee down here. It's a bit of a rescue lychee, but it's doing pretty good. We've got a finger lime here, which is a really cool plant. It flowered once, but it has not produced any fruit yet. It's just about the size where it should start fruiting soon. And we got another pineapple in a cage here. This is a big one. It's really outgrown the cage. And then we've got Cattleya guavas over here. These are a really tasty little yellow guava. This tree produces a ton for the size that it is. And then we've got an ice cream mango here, which has a couple mango on it. So we'll see if we get a couple fruit from this little tree this year. We got some katuk over here, which is a leafy green that you can eat. It's got a real nutty flavor to it. It grows like a weed. It's a perennial salad, basically. Like you'll have salad year round with these if you live in a warm climate. And you can add this to your salad too. This is cranberry hibiscus, which is delicious. It's got a real cranberry taste to it. You throw in your salad. You got a little bit of aloe growing here. This is my peanut butter fruit tree. And the fruit does taste like peanut butter. This one is too young to produce, but I've tried the fruit before, and it's really actually very good. It's Pakistani mulberry. Produces some giant sized mulberries. The size of these leaves on it. You can see that it is a big leaf tree and it's a big fruit tree too. More lemongrass, pineapple. This is a sugar apple here. And this tree struggled a little bit here. Half the tree kind of died off there, but the rest of it's alive. The cold they're kind of a little bit cold sensitive. We got another fig here, some more katuk. We've got a Julie mango here with one mango left on it. These air potato weeds that just grab everything. These air potatoes are the worst weeds in the yard, man. Can't stand these things. We plant a little more butterfly PT over here. We've got some hog plums, some June plum. This is a fruit called a Patanga tuba, which has flowered a bunch of times, but it has not produced any fruit yet. It's got a flower on it right now. So I'm waiting to taste it. It's called a Patanga tuba or a star cherry. This is another hog plum that came from an air layer. We've got some bay leaf over here. Hog plum. This is longevity spinach, and this is a great source of perennial spinach. If you guys want to have unlimited supply of spinach, plant this. Year round, I can get as much spinach as I want from this. It's just really an unlimited supply of spinach. And it's way healthier than regular spinach, and it just grows forever. And all I do is cut off pieces when I need it, and it just continues to grow. This is Okinawan spinach, which is just as good as longevity spinach. And I can't say enough about this stuff. This stuff is like miracle food right here. This is a hog plum here. We've got a little bay leaf, not bay leaf, allspice. This is allspice, which is incredible seasoning for your soups or your stews or anything like that. It's really, the leaves have an amazing flavor and smell. We got a pineapple in a cage here. This is bay leaf here, like what you cook with. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, another passion fruit. Oh, another passion fruit. How'd I walk past both of these? So all up in these trees is all passion fruits. That's how we find our passion fruits. I got a pocket full of passion fruit right now, but that's all good. Let's see, this is a Sempedak, which is like a miniature jackfruit. Now all on the ground around me, this is all like mostly sweet potato ground cover that I've grown, and I don't grow it to harvest it. I grow it just as a ground cover, keep the weeds suppressed, keep the soil moist, just keep the ground covered. This is some perennial peanut, which is also part of my ground cover as well. We've got a soursop here, which is kind of out of its growing zone, but we're pushing the boundaries. Got another pineapple in a cage here. I had to open the cage because the pineapple top was outgrowing the cage. We've got some moringa, which is the most nutritious land plant on earth. I put that in my shakes. This is my jackfruit here, which I just did a video on topping this jackfruit, trying to get it down a little bit. And there's a second jackfruit here, which was kind of struggling where it was. It used to be down on the hill there, and I brought it up here, and it's actually doing better up here than it was down there. So we'll see how it does. We've got some leaf of life here, which is medicinal. We've got some yerba mate, which is another tea. This is a tea that people drink in Argentina. It's really big in Argentina. And then other parts of South America. We got more katuk growing back here. It's a great leafy green. We've got iboza, which makes a great tea as well, and it grows like a weed, and it grows from cuttings. So this is one you should have, and it makes a really strong medicinal tea. This is sugar apple here, which is one of my favorite fruits to eat that I grow. We've got June plums here, so you can see what they look like. Also called golden apple. And these leaves are edible as well. You can put these in your salad, and they are actually they taste like pineapple lemon. They're really good. This is toilet paper plant or lamb's ear. If you felt the leaves on these, you would know exactly why it's called toilet paper plant. It's softer than any toilet paper you're ever gonna find. We got another soursop here. And this is coffee. Coffee loves the shade, so I moved it over here into the shade, and it's doing so much better. Some more air potato weeds here. Ugh. We got katuk sprouting up here from the main plant here. It drops seeds in the fall. This is cinnamon. It's my cinnamon tree. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, it's got something going on here. These leaves are all burnt up. We're gonna have to trim that off. I don't like seeing that on my tree, so I'm gonna trim that off and see what happens. But it's cinnamon. It smells like cinnamon. You can tell it's cinnamon because the leaves, the lines go straight down the leaves. It's a really cool plant. This is Brazilian spinach down here. And we've got some carambola or star fruit here. I have 3 different varieties of star fruit. This one is the sweetest. This one is the Twang Tongue, which is a really sweet variety of star fruit. This one has not produced any fruit yet. And my one over there, that one's produced fruit a couple times. Well, a lot of times actually. That's like a really good producing tree right there. Over here we have a cherimoya, which really is not supposed to produce fruit in Florida. It's a little out of its fruiting zone, so we'll see how it does. Got another peanut butter fruit tree down here. That's a Mona Lisa banana. This is Mayan tree spinach. This is a Mamey sapote down here, which refuses to die, but it also refuses to grow. And this is an ice cream banana. Now here we've got some ginger and some cassava in this bed over here. And this is a chelada, which is the rarest tree that I have. This is a cross between a custard apple and a cherimoya. And it was produced by a friend of mine's. So there's probably only a couple hundred of these in existence, and they're probably all in Florida. So it's pretty cool. I'm anxious to see what the fruit's gonna be like. Got some more dwarf Cavendish banana. We've got a red custard apple. And we've got another sugar apple here. We've got a Cocoa banana. And we've got some seedlings that popped up from the compost here. There's a mango seedling and a jackfruit seedling. And we've got a toothache tree or a Hercules tree. And this basically, when you eat one of these leaves, chew it up, it's gonna numb your mouth. It's a pretty cool plant, and I believe it's native to Florida as well. And this is beautyberry, which grows wild here. So I didn't plant that. They just kind of pop up everywhere. And we got some ginger left over from last year that I guess I didn't harvest. So it popped up this year again. This is cac mango. And we have another sugar apple here. Oh, no, sorry, this is a custard apple. It was given to me as a sugar apple, but it is not a sugar apple, definitely. I think it's a custard apple. And then this is a Baptiste mango, which I got a cutting from, and I grafted it onto a Duncan rootstock to try to create this tree, and it's doing pretty good. And we have some cocoa. This is cacao, which hasn't really produced any fruit yet, but it has flowered. The winter kind of beat the hell out of it, so it almost died, but it bounced back now. It's growing again. What's that little beetle on there? Let's see. And then we got a little golden coconut there. We have an achacha, which is like a little yellow fruit that grows in South America. I'm gonna try to speed this up here. I know we've been doing this for a while now. It's gonna be a long video. This is my jamun, which is an air layer from the bigger tree that I have out there. And there's more beautyberry growing. We got some figs. That's an LSU fig, which is supposed to be nematode resistant. So we'll see. And then we got some brown turkey fig over there. This is a wax jambu or a wax apple. It's got a lot of different names. We got a jackfruit seedling here. And these are some pawpaws that I got from a nursery here in Florida. The owner of the nursery was getting rid of them because they were dead. They were just sticks. So I took them off his hands and I've kind of nursed them back to life. So they are doing pretty good right now. They look great. I'm amazed at how good they look. Like that one was just one stick. There was nothing but a stick there. And it's looking great now. So I'm happy with that. This is an orange crush jackfruit here. This is a guinip or guinipa or Spanish lime. We have a little curry leaf plant right here. That's my Suriname cherry tree right there. And we're gonna go around over here. I've got some grafts that I did. I'm kind of waiting on these grafts to see how successful they are. Those are mostly mango and avocado grafts. Over here's my cashew tree. This cashew almost died from the cold. So we gave it a hard prune and it's bouncing back really nicely. It looks really good right now. Another beautyberry that popped up. Got a little jackfruit seedling and a little mango seedling. That's a sugar apple right there. We've got a loquat here. And we've got a mulberry cutting, a little seedling June plum. Seedling sugar apple. And this is the June plum here, which also has some fruit on it right now. It's doing pretty good. So my little mini greenhouse here. But here's where I keep all my little seedlings that we're gonna graft other stuff onto. So this is a lychee seedling. We got a lot of mango seedlings here. Got some callaloo or amaranth growing there. Got some avocado seedlings. This is a vanilla bean that was given to me by a friend. This is a mango that an avocado that I grafted here. It's doing pretty good. We're gonna go up around here. This is my bamboo wall. This is my wife's flower garden area here. This is my bamboo wall. That's where I get all my bamboo stakes from. And we have some olive trees here. We have 1, 2, 3 olive trees. Now these trees were all planted at the same time, but they've been moved around so many times. They've had different sort of experiences. That one's been sitting there the longest, so it's doing the best. And that's what it looks like up close. And this one's the second best. It's been there the second longest, and this one just got moved there, so it'll catch up. They'll all be fine. And then over here we have a loquat. Some of my wife's flower garden stuff here. We have a loquat underneath here. This is the tree that we moved. We moved this about 3 weeks ago, and it's putting out a lot of new growth. But this is a Barbados cherry, and it was a very big tree to move, but we moved it, and well, I moved it. I didn't have any help. I moved it, and it worked out. This is a pina colada mango right here. It's kind of in a shaded area, so it's a little slow on the growth, but hopefully it'll pick up. This is a fiddle leaf fig, which is a tree that doesn't produce anything, but I kind of want to get rid of it. My wife likes it, so I can't get rid of it. But I need to prune it down because it's just taking up too much light. It's taking light away from my jabuticaba over here, which does flower. This is a mature jabuticaba. And then I have another jabuticaba over here, which is a little bit younger. It hasn't quite flowered yet. But jabuticaba, they flower directly on the trunk, so it's really cool. And here we have some malanga or dasheen growing. We've got some ornamental ginger, some shell ginger, which is gorgeous. We've got a little winter Mexican avocado, which is struggling a little bit, trying to nurse it back to life here. It's probably because we've been so dry. And then we have a governor's plum here. Got a weed here. Pull that up. We've got a lemon meringue mango here, which had a lot of fruit on it, but it didn't hold anything. It's still a little bit young. And then we've got our big old Harvest Moon mango, which is grafted with a ton of grafts. Like everything on this side are all grafts. It's grafted with things like sugarloaf mango, Malacca mango. I know there's turpentine mango on here. There's coconut cream over here. There's Bombay. There's probably got about a dozen different varieties of mangoes on it. It's only got one mango left on it though. It's actually there, and that's that one right there. Good sized mango, so we'll see how it goes. This is a longan here. This is a fruit that's similar to a lychee. We got a little Oro Negro avocado that's just starting out. Another lychee, and we're back to the start. So that's pretty much it. You know, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That's my food forest. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my other videos. Check out my website, permaculturelife.com, all right? So hope you guys have a great day. Share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time, all right? Bye-bye.